Hello and welcome to the Ionavation Podcast. I'm Tony Green, joined by my co-host,
Andrew Pagan, and here we are joined with...
Hi, I'm Nicolette Zaffuto. I am the owner of CustomsbyNico.
Hi, Nico. It's absolutely perfect to have you here today. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, thank you. How are you guys?
Doing pretty good myself, yeah.
I'm doing pretty well, yeah. So can you tell us what CustomsbyNico is all about?
Of course. So CustomsbyNico is a business that I started where I customize, hand paint, and also restore sneakers of any types.
Okay, so when did you start that business?
I started back in March of 2020, so I've been running this business for about 5 years.
What made you want to go into this type of industry?
So March of 2020 is when the pandemic started, and on TikTok and Instagram I saw people painting their sneakers, their clothes. There was that one girl on TikTok that was painting her calculators. Everyone was painting anything they could find, and I was like, I could do that. I want custom shoes. I don't want to pay someone else to do that. I've always been very artistic myself, so I bought a pair of Air Forces. I painted them. They looked all right, I guess, but looking back, they're I don't know. Yeah, so I painted the shoes. I sent them to my friends. I was like, look what I did. And they're like, they actually look really good. Can you do a pair for me? And I was like, sure. Yeah, I guess if you really want a pair. And so they were like, you should start posting on Instagram. I was like, okay, I'll try that. I made an Instagram account. I made a TikTok. Posted really bad quality TikToks and blurry pictures of my shoes. And after a few weeks and months of consistency, my videos really started to pop off and get tens of views to hundreds of views to thousands and then hundreds of thousands. So it really kicked off from there.
So especially in high school where there's so many different people that you have to encounter on a daily basis, you were able to build a customer fan base.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to us about starting that off in the beginning, because I know you started off very locally.
Yeah, so in my high school, I grew up in Mount Vernon. So in my high school, I was friends with all types of friend groups. I knew people on the sports teams, on different clubs and things of that sort. I was friends with everyone. And so when I started my shoes, my high school and my friends, they were very, very supportive, which I'm very grateful for, because a lot of people might not have had the same experiences as I have. So when it came to starting the business, I had lots of support from my friends in my high school. And from there, my friends started reposting my TikToks on their stories on Instagram and stuff. They would tell their friends about my stuff, and I would get followers that way. It was very much word of mouth, how my networking started. And then from there, it was oh, my aunt saw your shoes and she wants a pair, or oh, my little brother's first birthday is coming up. Can I get a pair for that? So it really started from the ground up.
So what were some designs these people would ask you to make?
Yeah, so I had a lot of first birthday designs, which is funny thinking of it now. But I guess everyone had a little sibling that loved their Cartoon Network and stuff like that. So I was doing a lot of character designs. And I also started off very simple compared to what I do now. I was just doing simple colorways. So people would have plain white sneakers and they would ask, can you paint the check red? And so I would do simple things like that. And then keep in mind, like I said, this is during the pandemic. So we were on Zoom for class and my teachers would just see the tip of my paintbrush going, because I'm trying to keep my sneakers off the camera as I'm trying to pay attention to class and painting. And they're like, Nico, we could see your paintbrush. Can you put that down? And I was like, no, I'm working. I'm listening too. But yeah, that was another thing. All my teachers knew about my business. Some of my teachers ordered and still order for themselves and their kids. So that's really great. But yeah, I hope that answers your question.
Yeah.
So you had an entrepreneurial mindset very early on.
Yeah.
In high school, you took what you saw as something that was just lighthearted, something that was fun, and then you expanded upon that.
Yeah.
Can you talk to us about any type of inspiration that you might have looked to just to keep going in that time period?
Yeah. So going back to my entrepreneurial mindset, I've had that since for as long as I can remember. In elementary school, I was selling rainbow loom bracelets at lunch. I would sell snacks throughout high school. I kind of found a loophole. We weren't allowed to sell candy in school, but I was like, oh, I'm fundraising for my sports team. And the security guards are like, okay. So I was making money that way. everyone knew me as the girl that was always selling something. Like, I was just always doing something. So I've always been very entrepreneurial in that way. And to keep that kind of mindset going, I am very passionate about art. I've been an artist all my life. I was always drawing, like, as a kid and growing up. I'm not the best artist, but I love art. And when I saw a way to incorporate art into making money and being an entrepreneur, like, I just really honed in on that, and I wanted to get better at drawing so I could do better designs, so I could make people happier with their shoes and, like, my products that I'm giving them. Because at the end of the day, people are paying me for my work to wear. You know, they're not gonna wear, like, crappy, like, shoes if they don't look good. Like, I really want the shoes to look the best that they can, and when people see them, they're like, yeah, Nico did the shoes, and I really like them. They're my favorite pair. So
Yeah, I've been meaning to buy myself a pair of these shoes for the longest time too, and so I'm gonna buy them soon. Don't worry. And then next paycheck, I got you. And then as, like, being a student on, like, campus, right?
Yes.
How, like, because I know CEO has pop-up shops. How has that, like, done well for your business?
Yeah, so being that I'm in college, I'm in my last semester. I'm going to be done in December 2025.
Wow.
So, yeah, I'm graduating early. I had to really switch the dynamic that I had with my business transitioning from high school to college, because college is very much demanding when it comes to the work, my schedule. There's days where I'm here from, like, 9:30 a.m. to 9 p.m. because of practice and extracurriculars and work and stuff like that. So in high school, I had a lot more free time. I was taking on tens and, like, 40 orders a week almost. And now it got to a point where I'm like, okay, I need to kind of readjust my schedule so I can still take orders while prioritizing my schoolwork. So to answer your question, being that I'm in college now and the pop-up shops, that gives me a lot of brand exposure on campus, which I appreciate the most. While I've been in college, I've been really focusing on just making sure people know about my brand, not focus too much on, like, trying to get as many orders as I can. I'm focusing on brand awareness, because I know when the time is right for people. Like you said, when you're ready to order, like, you know, I'm here, you're going to order. So I'm very focused on just making sure my name is out there, people know I exist, and they just have me in the back of their minds at all times.
You've said a lot about high school and college, those consumer bases.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, we had a talk yesterday, and you said you've gotten global international orders.
Yes.
So can you speak to us about how you've leveraged social media in order to grow your business?
Yes, social media, TikTok and Instagram specifically, has helped me tremendously ever since the start of my business. I would not have had the amount of customers and, like, fan base, like you guys said, without these social media platforms. I wouldn't have had that reach that I have. Yeah, so I get a lot of international orders. I've gotten orders from, like, UK, Italy, Russia. I got one order from Russia, which was, I wouldn't have never expected. I get a lot of orders from Australia as well. And without Instagram and TikTok, I don't believe I would ever reach that far. When I look at my analytics on TikTok, it tells you what percentage of your viewers are from, like, different countries and stuff like that. 2% from, like, random little islands that I've never even heard of. I'm like, okay, and I have to go look up where it is. I'm like, oh, interesting. But yes, I've been able to leverage social media to a great extent. I try to be very consistent with my posting. I used to have a really strict, like, posting schedule where it's like, okay, I post once every 2 days at this time, because I know kids are getting out of school at this time, and I'm in New York, so this time is going to match up with this time in California, like, stuff like that. So I used to be very analytical when it came to that. On Instagram and TikTok, it's easier to get views and stuff because their algorithm is just different. I don't know. But yeah, social media has helped me so much because, like I said, without it, I would not have had the reach that I have and have gotten in the past.
Yeah. So we're talking Miss Worldwide right now. So, like, so as social media is going, I know you kind of spoke about it a little bit just now, but, like, what was, because, like, timing and everything, what was your, like, target, like, area or time for your viewers? Yeah,
so as I started off, I was very focused on the local aspect, as you mentioned before, just Westchester, New York, I never thought of even being considered like an out-of-state company or brand. And so when it came to the posting times, once I realized that people from different countries were seeing my things, seeing my content, I had to do my research. I started reading up like, okay, what times should I post if I want to get a reach out in Australia? Because I was getting a lot of things from there, a lot of views from there. And I would look up what hashtags to use, what trending audios were over there. Like I had to tap into the For You page of Australia so that I could cater to them, because I like doing international orders, because I think that's so cool. Like I'm working on shoes in my room and they're being shipped out however far away, however many miles. And so once again, because it was so international, I really had to open my mind and realize that this is bigger than just New York and my friends. Like I need to do my research and learn a different world so that I can cater to that demographic.
As an entrepreneur, time management is paramount.
100%.
And yeah, like you just said, you had to research a lot of different things like Australia's timing and schedule like that. So how have you incorporated time management in your business, because you're also a full-time student?
Yes, being a full-time student, I am a part of club volleyball with Andrew.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm a team captain. Outside of that, I coach volleyball at the YMCA by me. I do my shoe business. I have an internship where I'm conducting market research for a company. I'm
How do you have
everywhere.
your time?
Yeah, so time management, it's been a skill that I'm very thankful to have been pretty good at starting throughout high school. I grew up being a student athlete. I played volleyball since like 7th grade. So I feel like playing volleyball and being a part of a team really helped establish that like time management discipline in my schedule, because I would be like, okay, I'm going to school at this time. Takes me time to eat, and then I have time for practice. Oh, I have like homework for 3 classes. I need to do that. So I've been very like strategic with my timing. In college, it is a little bit harder because there's so many events that are happening on campus. I want to make sure I have time for a social life outside of my academics, outside of my extracurriculars. So time management, what I find to be very helpful is just writing things down, whether it's on my phone in my notes app. Like I have a whole bunch of random notes where or like one word, I'm just like paper, and I just keep that in my notes, and I'm like, okay, I know what I'm talking about. It's my honors paper or something. I also have a planner that I bought in the beginning of this year that I've been trying to use. I haven't been too consistent with it, but it has helped the few times I have used it. But yeah, time management is so crucial because I need to make sure I'm completing deadlines for academics as well as my business. When people order shoes, they're not going to wait 5 months for me to do a shoe. I can't push it off.
Right.
And they place an order. I tell them they have a processing time of 3 to 8 weeks because I have to get the shoe and work on it, etc., and then ship them out. But I have to set those deadlines for myself, because if I don't, there's no customer retention there, bad reviews, it's very high stakes. So just knowing that I have that pressure from people that don't know me, because it's not just my friends that are ordering shoes, it's real life people that they're serious, they're buying something, they expect it by a certain time. So just knowing that pressure is kind of on my shoulder, it keeps me very in tune with my schedule, and I know I can't really break that.
Mm-hmm. So just as a final question,
you
get all types of requests.
Yes.
What has been your most outlandish request up to date?
My most outlandish request wasn't even for a shoe. Someone messaged me on Instagram, I want to say 2 or 3 years ago. Hey, I just bought a bike. Can you customize my bike? And I was like, excuse me? They're like, yeah, I saw you did this design on a shoe, an Akatsuki cloud design from Naruto. Can you paint the clouds on my bike? And it's I never done that. It's a different type of paint that I need to buy. I need to do some research to make sure it's durable. And they're I guess. And then I was where are you located? I forget which state, but it was somewhere kind of far. And I was so how is this shipping gonna work? Are you it was just so random. I wasn't even sure how to respond. I'm listen, I appreciate you so much for reaching out and trusting me to, complete this commission for you, but I have to turn it down because there's no way. At least as of right then, like there's no way I could do that. But if you want that design on shoes, I got you.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
One more time, tell the people where they can reach you at.
CustomsbyNico, no spaces, no capitals, no nothing, on Instagram and TikTok.
That's all from me and Andrew today. If you guys would like to see more content like this, please make sure to subscribe to us on YouTube and follow us on Instagram at Hynes Institute. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ciao.